most expats are losing money every single month, and they don't even realize it. And I'm talking about hidden fees, bad exchange rates, and banks quietly taking a cut every time you move money overseas. I was doing the exact same thing until I switched over to Wise, and it completely changed how I manage money overseas. So if you're living overseas or planning to move overseas or simply traveling long term, this might be the most important financial tool you can have. So today I'm going to break down exactly what Wise is, how it works, and how I personally use it for living overseas and here currently in Thailand. Stick around for today's video.
Same four walls, same fading year. Got these plans stuck in my head. Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your.
All right, so actually a lot of people have requested this. They said, okay, why should I have Wise? What are the benefits? How do you use it? So I figured I would dedicate a whole video on using Wise and showing you some usage while I'm talking here. And I keep the card in my wallet. I also have it on my Apple Pay, and you can put it on your Google Wallet as well. But here's the problem, is that most banks are not designed for international living. They charge high transfer fees. They give you terrible exchange rates. A lot of people don't realize, like, oh, well, I get the ATM fee refunded back to me, but the exchange rates aren't good. And sometimes it takes days for your money to arrive. And the worst part is they say no fees, but they hide it in the exchange rate. Wise is basically a multi-currency account that lets you send, receive, and spend money internationally with real exchange rates. So you can hold US dollars, Thai baht, Philippines pesos, euros, all in one place. What I like to do is set up exchange rate notifications. So for example, right now I have it set up for the Philippines peso when it hits 60 pesos to notify me. And it'll notify me by a pop-up on my phone. And also, for example, the Thai baht, when it hits 33, and it hit it about a week ago, and the peso had went over 60 as well, it notified me. So what I did was take some money from my dollar account and move it and convert it over into pesos and also baht, because now I've got a great exchange rate. And so when it comes time to pay my my rent, I've already got it at the rate of 33 baht per dollar, and you can do that and just hold it in the account, and you've got yourself a great exchange rate. But the biggest advantage, like I said, is you get the real exchange rate at that moment. The same one you see on Google, no hidden markups, no games. You also get a Wise debit card, which I use all the time. And also I put it right on my Apple Pay, so I can just use it on my phone. Tap to pay, withdraw cash, automatically converts currency. I don't even think about exchange rates anymore. It just works. Now, receiving money is also a big thing. Now, me being on YouTube and working with different affiliates and sponsors, often I can just get paid direct deposit into my Wise account. I've also sold my motorbike back in the Philippines to another expat, and he just deposited right into my Wise account. He had a Wise account too, so you can send Wise to Wise very easily. And this is huge if you're making money online. Wise is very convenient for that. You can receive money like you have a US bank, a bank in the UK, or the bank in Australia or Thailand or wherever. You'll get an actual account number and everything for each currency. And all of that while living overseas. So it's perfect for YouTube, remote work, or business income. Now, living here in Thailand, I pretty much use Wise for everything. Paying rent. And let me go back even a little bit further. In the Philippines, what I would do, instead of ever having to go to the ATM or sometimes they would say, hey, we want you to deposit it into my bank. So I would have to go get the cash out and then go to the bank, stand in line and go deposit into their account, and then take a picture of the receipt and send it to them. That was way back when I used to pay the rent. And or you'd have to go pay them in cash, or they would come to your house. So I was able to cut all of that out. You get the full name of the person or the business, the account number, and I think like their email address and the routing number or the SWIFT number, and you can deposit directly into their account instantly for your rent. Now, I did that in the Philippines. I did that I do that here in Thailand. Even in Nairobi, Kenya, I was paying my Airbnb when I stayed at a place a couple months or 3 months, couple months. I was just paying directly into their account or they have something over there similar to the Philippines called GCash. Philippines says GCash, and they have something called M-Pesa, and I could just deposit it right into their account. But I can send money, I can withdraw cash, and traveling between countries, it works amazing. It's basically replaced my bank for traditional use. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, what if your bank realizes you're living overseas? Well, they never actually even have to know, really. You can just transfer money into your Wise account and then just use your Wise as the middleman. So your current bank in the US or wherever never even needs to see that you have any international transactions, just that maybe you send money once a month into Wise. So from Wise, you can do your cash withdrawals, you can tap and pay your rent, things like that. Now, let me give you a quick example. If you send $1,000 through a traditional bank, you might lose $50 to $100. And with Wise, it's usually just a few dollars, and it arrives faster. And that adds up fast over time. Now, I don't want to say that there's no downsides to Wise and that there's not other places or other banks that can compete with them. I'm sure there's other options out there. I'm just saying, for me, I have found that Wise is the best option. But to be fair, it's not perfect. It's not a full traditional bank. There are some ATM limits. Occasionally there are some delays, but it's pretty rare. Most of the time, it goes through in minutes or within a few hours. I have had some instances where for some reason it's wanted to take a couple of days. Rare, but it happens. But overall, it's still the best option that I have found. So if you're living overseas and you don't have Wise, you're honestly making things harder and more expensive than they need to be. This is one of those tools that just makes life easier when living overseas or traveling long term as well. So again, if you want to check it out, I'll put a link in the description and also the pinned comment. And definitely get the debit card. I think even if you don't get the physical debit card, you still get the digital one, which you can add to your Apple Pay or your Google Wallet, which comes in super handy. And honestly, in Thailand now, even in Kenya, everything was tap and pay, tap and pay. Now, the Philippines, I don't know if they're quite at that level yet, but they're starting to. And if you have questions about using Wise overseas, drop them in the comments, and I will answer everything as best as I can. And I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao.
Same four walls, same fading year. Got these plans stuck in my head. Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights in Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping away from us.